Good morning and welcome to New Hanover County Schools The Morning Show. I'm Kira Schwigel.
And I'm Grayson Borst. This is the week of November 11th through November 17th. Thank you for starting your day off with our electrifying and educational morning show.
Monday, November 11th is Veterans Day, and we have a special feature as well as an awesome edition of Game Time to celebrate the day.
Before we get started today, we wanted to tell you that we have increased the number of ways you can watch our channel. We have been added to Apple TV.
If you have Apple TV, just search for NHCS TV channel. It's a free channel you can add.
There are also a number of other ways you can watch our channel along with Spectrum Cable Channel 5 in Wilmington and 191 at Carolina Beach.
Anyone with a Roku device can now watch our channel. Just add the free PEG.TV channel, then find the blue NHCS TV logo under their educational channel line.
And if you have no cable or Roku device, then you can see our live stream online or on your iPad or cell phone.
Just go to nhcstv.worldpress.com. You'll see the live stream link, and soon to come will be future blogs by NHCS TV students.
You can also follow us on Twitter at NHCSTV and friend us on Facebook. Look for New Hanover County Schools TV.
So many great ways to watch and stay connected with NHCS TV.
It's time to check in with our third member of the team, Leah Schwegel. She is standing by right now with our first look at the morning news headlines. Good morning, Leah.
Good morning, Kira and Grayson, and welcome everyone to your school news here on the morning show. Topping the headlines this week, Murrayville Elementary School celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month. Mary C. Williams Elementary staff pass out candy and books to students for Halloween. And NHCS rolls out Say Something, anonymous reporting system. I'll have all those stories and more coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Leah.
It's time for a staple here on the morning show, This Week in History. Our Grand Master of Historical Knowledge has all the headlines from past times in This Week in History.
Welcome to This Week in History, covering all the colorful and amazing events that have left their mark on history's timeline. This is the week of November the 11th through November 17th. November 11th, 1933, a powerful windstorm strips the topsoil from farmlands in South Dakota, one of a series of disastrous windstorms that year. The drought-ridden land of the Southern Plains became known as the Dust Bowl. It was useless to farmers and only exacerbated the economic problems of the Great Depression. November the 12th, 1954. Ellis Island, the gateway to America, shuts its doors after processing more than 12 million immigrants since opening in 1892. Today, an estimated 40% of all Americans can trace their roots through Ellis Island. It's located in New York Harbor. November the 13th, 1982. On this day, the Vietnam National Memorial was dedicated to those who served in the Vietnam War. The memorial is a long, black granite wall inscribed with the names of nearly 58,000 Americans who died in the conflict. November the 14th, 1882. On this day, the gunslinger Franklin Buckskin Leslie shoots the Billy the Kid Claiborne dead in the streets of Tombstone, Arizona. Probably seeking the notoriety that would come from shooting a famous gunslinger, Claiborne unwisely decided to publicly challenge Leslie, who shot him dead. November the 15th, 1864. Union General William Sherman begins his expedition across Georgia by torching the industrial section of Atlanta. For the next 6 weeks, Sherman's army destroyed most of the state before capturing the Confederate seaport of Savannah. Finally, your weekend history tidbits. November 16, 1973, President Richard Nixon declares that America's energy requirements have outpaced its production capacity and urges Congress to pass Senate Bill 1081. That would authorize the construction of a pipeline to access oil from the North Slope of Alaska. November 17, 1869, the Suez Canal connecting the Mediterranean and the Red Seas is inaugurated in an elaborate ceremony. Today, an average of 50 ships navigate the canal daily, carrying more than 300 million tons of goods a year. That's this week's In History, your ultimate source for those key moments in time. Thanks for stopping by.
And join us again next time for another journey through time as we explore the fun, fascinating, entertaining, and educational facts that make up This Week in History.
We have plenty more of the morning show ahead, including our special Veterans Day segment.
But first, as we head to break, we have a word of the week. Each week we highlight an advanced English word, so when you use them, you can impress even educated speakers. Here's our word of the week.
I sniffed in the middle.
Your son wants to get a cat,
I'll really take care of it.
but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25.
Good job!
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
I'll be right back.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Kira Schwegel.
And I'm Grayson Borst.
Veterans Day is an official United States public holiday that honors military veterans who served in the United States Armed Forces.
It takes place on November 11th, and it coincides with other holidays, including Armistice Day and Remembrance Day, that mark the anniversary of the end of World War I, which formally ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918.
Veterans Day allows citizens to show their respect for those who are willing to give their lives and serve our country. There are currently over 23 million veterans in the United States.
We now bring you a special feature in honor of Veterans Day and those veterans titled Lessons in Liberty.
Several years ago, NHCS TV students sat down with World War II veterans in one-on-one interviews and listened to their stories.
Today, we feature one of those interviews for you to enjoy at home.
Hi, I'm Megan Bennett, and today we are joined by World War II Navy veteran Jesse Batson. Welcome, Mr. Batson. We're glad to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Could you tell us about some of your experiences in the Navy? Your experiences in the Navy.
Well, I enlisted in the Navy in April of 1934. I went through boot camp in Norfolk, Virginia, 16 weeks. I arrived there in April, latter part of April of 34, and last of August we finished our boot camp. And I was assigned to the USS Idaho, which was undergoing remodernization in the Navy Yard in Norfolk, Virginia. I went aboard her in September of 34. In January of 35, she made her trial runs after remodernization. Now, we say remodernization. It was the most modern ship the Navy had at that time. No freshwater showers, no laundry facilities. You slept in hammocks. You had a little locker probably about 18 by 24 inches deep. You kept most of your clothes in. They had to be folded a certain way and put in the rest of your clothes were kept in a sea bag. Everybody had a bucket. So when you took a shower, you would go in, you would get one bucket of fresh water. You would soap yourself down or whatever you wanted to do. To warm that water, you hung it on a hook with a steam pipe down into the water. You turned the valve on to the steam warmed up the water to your temperature. Then you would soap yourself down with fresh water. Then you would get under a saltwater shower. And then you would take what remaining fresh water you had and try to get most of the salt water off of you. And the sleeping accommodations, I said, were hammocks. And if you were lucky enough to be promoted to a third-class petty officer, you were entitled to a folding cot. But we went to bed at 9 o'clock. You heard taps, which you hear at a funeral today. Taps went every night at 9 o'clock. The word was passed to turn in your hammocks and keep silence about the ducks. And they meant just what they said. If you were out of that hammock during those hours, other than to go to the, we call the head, you had to explain it to the master at arms. But most of the sailors in my early Navy career were products of the Great Depression. They're like me. They went into the Navy to get some food, in the manner of speaking. $21 a month to start with, 36, 54, 60. Now 60 was a third-class petty officer. $72 a month was a second-class petty officer. $84 a month was a first-class petty officer. $99 a month was a chief petty officer acting. Now, when he got a permanent appointment after a couple of years, the pay was $126. But naturally, like everything else, as time went by, the pay scale in the armed forces went up gradually a little bit at a time. Now, when I was promoted to chief petty officer in 1943, my pay was $135 a month. So aboard this destroyer, the Mason, it was eventually, we took it up to Nova Scotia, Halifax, Nova Scotia. It was one of the then leased destroyers, and turned it over to the British. And then we left there, and I went back to Philadelphia to receiving ship and was reassigned to another destroyer, the USS Biddle 151. I didn't stay aboard that very long because we had to turn it over to the 90% of the crew ended up as being reserves. So from there, I went to a receiving ship, which was the Oklahoma. And from there I was assigned, I looked at the bulletin board one day. At the time I was a gunner's mate. They wanted gunner's mates to change their rate to aviation ordnancemen. So I applied for that, and it was granted. And I thought I was in sailor's heaven when I went to naval aviation. The duty every fourth day, after having the duty every other day aboard ship, is port and starboard, as I said.
We hope you enjoyed that special segment. This Veterans Day, try to take a few moments to reflect upon all the men and women who have served in our great country.
It's time now for our morning news. Let's send it over to Leah Schwagel, who will share all the details. Good morning, Leah.
Good morning and welcome to your school news on the morning show. I'm Leah Schwagel. Our top story this week, students at Mary C. Williams received a big surprise as staff members met them at several bus stops to pass out candy and books for Halloween reverse trick-or-treating. YSN reporter Thomas Jones has the full story.
Teachers from Mary C. Williams are bringing spooky treats to students in New Hanover County with this year's reverse trick-or-treating program.
Today we are reverse trick-or-treating. The teachers, we've split up the bus routes and are going to visit the kids, bring them some books and candy, and kind of just build some school morale and get them excited.
Books, pencils, and of course candy are just some of the items handed out.
At Williams, we love to foster reading, so we try to get them excited about reading any way we can. So we feel like getting off the bus and giving them books with candy for Halloween was one of the ways to do that.
The kids just really like to see us out in the community, and whenever we get to get out into their community, they always are excited to see us and spend time with us. So it's just fun to see them outside of school.
Parents say they are thankful staff took the time to come out and pass out gifts to kids.
I actually think it's fantastic just to see the teachers being able to interact with the kids. Even on Halloween, right now they could be home under the TV, catching up with work, and they actually come out and get to each stop and have the kids, have candy with them and books, everything. I think is nice. That's why I came out, because I just like to see the looks on their faces when they actually see the teachers that they are working with at school, give them candy and just enjoy the holiday just as well as we do, because I'm a big Halloween fan.
It's very nice.
For your school news, I'm Thomas Jones.
Students and staff came together recently at Murrayville Elementary for a Hispanic Heritage Celebration. Folks from UNCW gave 2 presentations to students, which included reading, dancing, information about heritage, and heritage-related activities in observance of Hispanic Heritage Month. Each year, Americans observed National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th to October 15th by celebrating the histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. The observation started in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Johnson and was expanded by President Ronald Reagan in 1988 to cover a 30-day period starting on September 15th and ending on October 15th. It was enacted into law on August 17, 1988. The day of September 15th is significant because it is the anniversary of independence for several Latin American countries. In addition, Mexico and Chile celebrated their Independence Day on September 16th and September 18th, respectively. Isaac Bear has a great new program spearheaded by one of their students, Zane Dash. Science Fair Academy coaches have worked with 26 students at Rachel Freeman Coddington, Bellamy, Bradley Creek, and Anderson with the goal of developing students' science interests and passions into scientific and engineering-based research projects. Isaac Bear students are paired with an elementary schooler that works one-on-one with them in developing their science and engineering fair projects. The goal of the Science Fair Academy is to pique elementary schoolers' interest in the STEM field early on, as well as provide the resources needed for them to be successful. Students travel across the country to ensure every student in the area is included, and they hope to expand this program into other elementary and middle schools. New Hanover County Schools recently announced its partnership with Sandy Hook Promise, a leading violence prevention organization, to roll out its Say Something Anonymous reporting system to its students district-wide. The Say Something Anonymous reporting system allows students to submit secure and anonymous safety concerns to help identify and intervene at-risk individuals before they hurt themselves or others. Concerned students simply submit a tip using the Say Something Anonymous reporting system app, website, or by calling a dedicated 24/7 crisis center. The tip is examined and communicated back to the identified school, district contacts, and as needed to law enforcement. Management and training of the Say Something Anonymous reporting system was given to school districts, teachers, and administrators. The New Hanover County Schools platform went live on November 5th. All middle and high school students were trained at school last week. For all of the latest on New Hanover County Schools, join us weekdays at 5 p.m. here on Spectrum Cable Channel 5 and Channel 191 in Carolina Beach for your school news. A complete half hour of all the latest news and information from New Hanover County Schools. Now back to our hosts.
Thanks, Leah.
All right, it's time now for this week's lunch menu. This is the menu for Monday, November 11th through Monday, November 17th. On Monday, November 11th, enjoy the day off and thank a soldier for his or her service because it's Veterans Day. Also, enjoy your day off from school.
Then, on Tuesday, November 12th, sit down with your friends and enjoy scrumptious chicken and waffles, Salisbury steak, or succulent buffalo chicken pizza. Continue the explosion of flavor with the side items of mashed potatoes, crunchy carrots, and delicate diced peaches.
On Wednesday, November 13th, decide on the tough choice of chicken teriyaki served with brown rice, a mouth-watering cheeseburger, or a happening hot dog. Choose from an assorted of sides including tasty tater tots, golden corn, and a frozen fruit cup.
On Thursday, November 14th, feast like royalty on a sure-to-please beef fajita served with steamy Spanish rice, magnificent macaroni and cheese, or a deluxe chicken sandwich. Complement your entree with crunchy sweet potatoes, lima beans, and amazing mandarin oranges.
Then, on Friday, November 15th, energize yourself with a sure-to-please nacho grande with cheese, splendid roast chicken served with brown rice, or a flippin' fish fillet sandwich. Finish off the meal with black beans, delectable broccoli, and mixed fruit.
Finally, on Monday, November 18th, shake off those Monday morning blues at lunch with pasta with meat sauce served with a garlic knot, piping hot chicken tenders, or a grilled cheese sandwich. Complement your entree with gorgeous green beans, sweet potato puffs, tomato and cucumber salad, and delectable diced peaches.
And there you have the lunch menu for this week. In addition to those items, milk, a garden salad, fresh fruit, French bread pizza, and a peanut butter and jelly combo will be available daily.
So many delicious choices. Don't forget, you can also start your day off with a healthy and hearty breakfast at school.
Now, when we come back, we have a fun new segment produced by an NHCS TV intern.
It's coming up right after this short break.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Kira Schwagel.
And I'm Grayson Borst.
We now have a brand new addition to our morning show. If you have some free time or are looking for a new hobby where you can meet new people and challenge your mind, then pay attention.
NHCS TV intern Dylan Roberts takes us into the world of card games with this new segment titled Fun in Decks. Today, he looks at the long-running and still very popular game, Magic the Gathering, and tells us how you can get it started.
Hello, and welcome to Fun in Decks. I'm your host, Dylan Roberts. Today we have the opportunity to learn about a trading card game that is sweeping North Carolina. Trading card games are a pastime for many people, and their popularity hasn't seemed to fade. This includes one that has seen much praise and love, Magic the Gathering. This simple-to-learn card game has even been turned into a successful online video game to expand the number of people it reaches. Magic is a card game where each player has a deck of at least 60 cards. Each player uses lands to gain the materials required to play monsters and spells. The first person to reduce their opponent's health from 20 to 0 wins. Magic the Gathering was first revealed in 1993 at the Origins Game Fair and has grown so much since then. Since its humble beginning, the game has held tournaments across North America, Europe, and even in Japan. The community around the game has pushed it to be an esport competing with the best and continues to rise in popularity. Magic is one of the most popular trading card games in the world, and at Cape Fear Games on Oleander Drive, it's no exception. The game store boasts thousands of Magic the Gathering cards to trade, collect, and challenge other players with. Not only that, Cape Fear Games hosts tournaments and game nights where people can come and play with other fans of the game. This includes Friday Night Magic, which is run by Wizards of the Coast, the creators of Magic the Gathering.
Well, honestly, one of the benefits I've found with Magic is they actually have something called Friday Night Magic, which is going on in the background right now. And they have this community gathering where wherever you go in the country, in the US, you can always find, there's like one store here or there or somewhere, even if it's like, 5 minutes away, 30 minutes away, you can find it. So when I first moved here to Wilmington, it was looked up the store, see some popularity, see some reviews, and go to an F&M. And then sure enough, loved the store, loved the community, and been here ever since.
Each night of Magic the Gathering games normally host around 50 players, and they're willing to help you learn more about the game as well.
I don't necessarily think the game's for everybody, but if you have interest in it, there's more than enough people that are always willing to help, and like myself and like other people have like extra decks and stuff too. If you're like, if there's ever like a cost barrier to playing the game, and I know a lot of people are more than welcome to help people getting into the game.
Also, Cape Fear Games hosts tournaments for the players where you can challenge others to be crowned as the best player for that week.
It's a great game. If you want a little break up from like just a typical video game or something, a little more strategy, you can download a Magic the Gathering Arena on your computer. You can play it completely free. Come to the shop, play different formats. We got stuff during the week. It's a really easy way to get into. Super fun game, super rewarding the more you play it.
Cape Fear Games is a great place for any card game enthusiast to go. You can find them at 4107 Oleander Drive, online at www.capefeargames.com, or call them at 910-798-6006. I'm Dylan Roberts, reminding you to keep your deck topped up.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon. That looks like a fun game to play.
And I didn't know it was so popular right here with weekly game nights.
Keep it tuned to the morning show for more fun and decks as Dylan explores more exciting and fun games you can play.
Our next feature gives a glimpse at what NHCS TV has to offer students in our school system. It's called Interns Return. We invited back former students who volunteered and interned at NHCS TV to talk about their time here and tell us how it helped them after graduating. If you wanted to know more about NHCS TV or are a student interested in a media-related field, then listen closely and hear the inside story. This morning, a former volunteer, Chris Allen, joins us to share his experiences.
My name is Chris Allen. I volunteered here at the station from 2004 to 2006. It was something that I did at the recommendation of my film teacher at New Hanover High School, so that since I do have a passion for broadcasting, that it would be a good level of experience to kind of get my feet wet and start me on my journey down my broadcasting career. Well, I always had a passion for being in the broadcast industry. I knew I always wanted to kind of do something involving TV, probably news, just because I was a big news buff. And so when I got the opportunity to come volunteer at the station, I jumped right on it. And I remember for the first day walking in the door and seeing everything set up and all the lights, and really feeling a sense of, okay, yeah, this is going to be good. I feel at home here, and I met so many wonderful people, got such great experience, and it really got me the opportunity to be on set and feel what that feels like, and really learn the ropes. It was a good first start experience.
We start the second half of our program with a brand new series in March. The New Hanover County Schools Technology Department held their annual technology fair. The fair featured exhibits and demonstrations of the use of technology in schools throughout the system.
I graduated with a diploma in broadcast. That was my course of study. Went to Cape Fear Community College and continued my education there, getting a associate's in communications there. And from there, I was literally able to springboard from taking college courses and simultaneously doing an internship at one of the local news stations, WWAY, here in town, and graduated, walked right across the street to the station, and really just to show off my diploma, my degree, and got offered a production job. Working behind the scenes, doing basically the same thing I did here at the station. And you being able to use that experience that I learned here, translated into that, and then was promoted to getting a reporter job, which is where I wanted to be all along. So if it weren't for being here at this station, maybe it wouldn't have ended up that way. Science Olympiad was always good. Because it was a different element than being here in the studio. And you have to be multifaceted. You have to be dynamic if you're going to be an on-air talent. And so that got me experience in the live aspect of things, because it was I remember we went live for Science Olympiad, and I was so nervous because I'd never really done anything like that. And I forget who I was co-anchoring with, but I think it was Alicia Murphy, and I did it. I think she was more nervous than me, so that made me feel a little bit better. But we knocked it out of the park. We were able to some things went wrong. We were able to adjust on the fly, which is good that things did go wrong, because then you learn how to adapt to the changing environments on the fly as you go, and you will need that if you're going to make a career in this. On set, I remember, I think it was the morning show, because we had the set over this way and we had the morning show set. And I remember Brandy Poland, because she was like my best friend here at the time, and just we got into so much trouble because we couldn't stop cracking up on air while they were trying to record. I think we were just making goofy faces at each other. And I remember Aaron being like, stop it. Calm down. But so that was it was always fun. And that's how you know that we had camaraderie, and we all got along. We were very close knit here. I would tell someone in high school who's thinking about doing this, absolutely jump. If you're nervous, jump faster, because you're gonna get such great experience here. You learn from people who know their stuff, who can help you grow and progress, not just in this career field, but as an individual, regardless of what it is you're going to go do after you leave high school. It's a treasure trove of experience. You're on set, you're getting to work with the cameras, you're getting to work on air, you're getting to work with the audio boards and mixers, so you get all of that experience here in one place. It's priceless, and you're going to remember it once you get out of high school and you go on to college and hopefully a career in media of some kind. And it's a good foundation for that. So I would definitely encourage anyone to do it.
Thank you, Chris. Remember, NHCS TV accepts high school volunteers all year long. Just call the TV studio at 254-4180.
We head to break with our new modern music bumper. Enjoy these quick looks and listens of the musicians of our time.
We'll be right back.
They say she's in the class 18, stuck in her daydream. Been this way since 18, but lately her face seems slowly sinking, wasting, crumbling like pastries, and they scream.
I'm a bus driver.
I'm a bus driver.
I'm a bus driver. Wouldn't you like to be a bus driver too?
New Hanover County Schools is now hiring individuals to be a part of our elite core of school bus drivers.
That's right. You can work full-time, part-time, or serve as a substitute bus driver.
New Hanover County Schools offers competitive wages, flexible hours, and state benefits.
Best of all, you get to work with the greatest kids in the world.
We need you!
Contact us today to join the next free commercial driver's license class.
New Hanover County Schools is an equal opportunity employer.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Grayson Borst.
And I'm Kira Schwagel.
We have some great segments ahead, but first we have our Did You Know?
Did you know blue lobsters are real?
About 1 in every 4 million lobsters is born with a rare genetic defect that turns it blue. They turn blue because they produce more of a certain protein than other lobsters.
Lobsters are highly prized seafood and one of the most profitable commodities in the coastal areas they populate.
Lobsters live on rocky, sandy, or muddy bottoms close to the shoreline. They are one of the largest types of crustaceans.
Another unique fact about lobsters is that they continue to grow in size as they age. Some adult lobsters can grow enormous sizes of over 3 feet long.
Finally, of the over 200 million lobsters caught in the Atlantic each year, only 50 to 100 of them will be blue.
Well, now that you know about the blue lobsters, we have interesting knowledge for you in our segment Science Nation from the National Science Foundation.
This feature takes a dynamic, entertaining look at the research and the researchers that will change our lives.
From the latest inventions to studies that could change the way we perceive the world, each episode is packed with electrifying information.
Come on. From battlefield to lab, Harvard bioengineer Kit Parker aims high.
How come this thing didn't go all the way up?
A lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve, Parker has served multiple tours of duty in Afghanistan. Now he's a man on a mission to improve protection for servicemen and women in the field, from better wound dressings to lighter weight bulletproof vests. And to think it all started with a cotton candy machine.
The original idea I had was that I could make nanofibers with a cotton candy machine.
With support from the National Science Foundation, Parker and his team are developing next-generation nanofibers to make new fabrics and materials for military use.
So from clothing to wound dressings to packaging, this system is designed for that, and we can spin out fibers with a wide range of polymers, both natural and synthetic.
They demoed the cotton candy approach for us, loading this machine with a liquid polymer. Instead of sugary strands, they whip out these thin threads.
Yeah, they're thinner than a human hair. I mean, they're really small.
This is polyester. It's meant to be friendly to the body, so for cells, and also stretchy. This might be used for any sort of like cardiovascular implant or maybe even the wound healing application.
There are other fibers out there, but Kevlar is a brand name in body armor.
Parker's team also wants to put his nanothreads to work in Kevlar-like body armor. They add sulfuric acid to the mix to make strong, hard-shelled nanofibers for bulletproof vests.
So you have more protection and it's lighter. Then another technique that's basically inspired by how a cat laps milk up.
I'm going to load the syringe with our polymer, PET. The very tip of this bristle will dip into the droplet that forms at the top of this needle and whip it around as it rotates. And that nanofiber will be collected straight at that target.
We can make all these fibers that somewhere, I think it's 10 times greater than the other production methods that are used currently.
Parker also recruits military veterans as part of his team.
I love it. It's an exciting lab. There's all kinds of research here. He's a veteran, I'm a veteran. We have very similar visions with regards to research.
Breeze, I'm just going to start taking stuff apart, all right? We run a pretty tight ship here in the laboratory. We bring maybe I bring a little bit of the same kind of intensity with which we lead in the military into the lab. Veterans are comfortable with that model. If I raise my voice at someone, they're more likely to laugh than to get their feelings hurt. But I think that with all the projects that we have, they're inspired from the battlefield.
Parker expects that within a decade, nanofibers like these will be woven into standard issue military garments. High-tech protection against enemy fire. Now there's an interesting spin. For Science Nation, I'm Miles O'Brien.
That was neat. I'm always amazed by people who can take an everyday thing like a cotton candy machine and create something completely unique and new from it.
It is amazing. From cotton candy to bulletproof fibers, that's one of the great things about science and our Science Nation segment.
I look forward to our next edition.
Me too.
We continue our show with gardening and nature. Even though fall is here and it's getting a little cooler outside, it's still a good time to enjoy nature. Our friends from the Cape Fear Garden Club continue to provide us with wonderful information and tips for you to put to use at home. In today's edition, our host Barbara Downing is joined by a special guest, and they tell us about trees in our area.
Good morning. Do you remember the Lorax who said, "I speak for the trees"? Well, I want to introduce you to someone who speaks for the trees in Wilmington. Please welcome Sherry O'Daniel, the new chair of the Wilmington Tree Commission. Sherry, why are trees so important to our community?
Well, trees are important for many reasons. Trees provide shade, which cools the sidewalks in the buildings, reducing this urban heat effect that we can get, thus saving energy. Trees also provide a habitat for wildlife and songbirds, and trees also reduce the stormwater runoff by filtering the raindrops through filtration through the roots and also through the trees.
What is an urban tree canopy and who is in charge of it?
The urban tree canopy is basically the tree in general, basically the leaves, the whole infrastructure. And what we try to do with the canopy is the broader a tree is, the more shade it provides, the more filtration of water it will create. So that's one thing we're trying to do is, instead of putting up small trees in parking lots, if we concentrate on a tree's canopy, which is the width that it expands out, then we're going to be more beneficial in the urban heat and also in managing the stormwater runoff.
Okay. Well, and who's in charge of that here in Wilmington?
Well, basically the Wilmington Tree Commission was placed to manage the trees, but the Parks and Recreation and Aaron Reese, who is our city arborist, he's the one that's in charge of determining the health of a tree and where trees should go or not go.
Okay. And I think I read that they are going to have a new system where they're going to make like a map, an aerial map of our whole canopy here in this area, and some students from UNCW will be helping with that.
That's right, yeah, and it's a system where you could actually, they're going to start marking down the heritage trees, so you'll be able to go within the city and find out where the heritage trees that have been designated as such are located.
And what exactly is a heritage tree?
A heritage tree is something that's beneficial to the community in terms of either it's a significant marking for some historic event. It could be a heritage tree because of its size. It all has to go against certain statistical information based on what the state heritage tree is in comparison to them. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, is there a particularly famous heritage tree here in Wilmington?
There's many heritage trees, and you can go on the Wilmington Tree Commission website, and it'll have a whole list of all the heritage trees that we have. And of course, everybody knows the famous Airlie Garden tree.
Right.
There.
I think I read somewhere on the arborist website said that it's like has been standing since the 1500s.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty
correct.
impressive.
That is.
So, is there a designated day each year to celebrate trees?
Mm-hmm. Well, here in North Carolina, we consider Arbor Day the first Friday after March 15th. And that's what our Arbor Day is, and that's because of our planting season. We plant a little bit earlier than what the designated Arbor Day is nationally, which is April 22nd, which is because of the founder of Arbor Day. It was his
That's
birthday.
his birthday,
yeah.
Right.
But that was based in Nebraska, which their planting season's a little bit later than ours.
Right. Does Cape Fear Garden Club celebrate Arbor Day?
Yes, they do. They do, and they do it on the national days when they designate their celebration.
Oh, okay. So here coming up, I think the Cape Fear Garden Club said that they were going to do it on April 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
and a Girl Scout troop is going to help with the planting. And if I remember correctly, I think it's going to be at Maids Park. That's where the trees are going to be planted.
Yes,
so,
that'd be
April
great.
22nd.
We're so glad to see the community overall to celebrate their love of trees. It's very important to our community.
It's very important to our community, it's true. Well, thanks, Sherry, for all that wonderful information about trees. That wraps up this edition of Gardening in Nature. Back to you.
Thank you, Barbara. That was a lot of great information.
Next week, we will have a new edition where we learn how to properly plant a tree.
It's going to be a good one, but for now, get your thinking caps ready because when we come back from break, it's game time.
Keep it tuned right here and join in on all the fun.
Women Heart is in a race to save lives. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. It's 80% preventable if you know the facts. Millions of women are living with or at risk of different types of heart disease, like AFib, which is a type of irregular heartbeat. It affects both women and men, but women with AFib have a higher risk of stroke and death than men. Get educated. See your doctor. Know the facts. Diet and exercise are key to staying healthy. Know the risks. Women Heart does something really unique, solely focusing on women and providing peer-to-peer support. To win this race, we all have to do it together. Our hearts beat as one. To learn more, visit womenheart.org.
Welcome to Game Time. I'm your host, Leah Schwagel. In honor of all our veterans, today is our superhero edition of Game Time. If you think you know everything about the superheroes who fight for a better world, then stick around and see if you know the answers to our trivia challenge. But before that, we send it to Kieran Grayson for a special list.
Thank you, Leah.
All right, everyone. It's time for us to unveil our morning show list of the top 10 superheroes. Follow along and see if you agree or disagree.
Feel free to send us a tweet with your thoughts on our list at NHCS TV.
Okay, let's get started.
Number 10, we top our list of heroes with the Hulk. The Hulk is the alter ego of Bruce Banner, who gained the power following his accidental exposure to gamma radiation during the detonation of an experimental bomb. Hulk's strength increases alongside his anger and is potentially limitless. He first appeared in the comic book The Incredible Hulk #1.
Number 9. Daredevil. Having gained newfound fame with the hit TV series, Daredevil first appeared in his own comic book in 1964. Matt Murdock is his real name, and he gained his powers when radioactive material spilled on him. The material made him blind, but also enhanced his other senses to amazing lengths.
Number 8, Captain America. Steve Rogers, better known as Captain America, was once a regular human until he was genetically enhanced to peak human perfection with a serum. Captain America possesses superhuman strength, endurance, agility, speed, reflexes, durability, and healing. He is also the leader of the Avengers team. He first appeared in 1941.
Number 7, Storm. Storm, also known as Ororo Munroe, is the daughter of a tribal princess from Kenya. Storm possesses the ability to control the weather and to fly using winds. Storm is a member of the X-Men, oftentimes leads them into battle. She first appeared in giant-sized X-Men #1 in 1975.
Number 6, Wolverine. Next on our list is another X-Men member, Wolverine. Also known as Logan, Wolverine has incredible healing abilities, and his bones are covered in a super metal known as adamantium. He first appeared in The Incredible Hulk in 1974.
Number 5, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, also known as Princess Diana, is a warrior princess of the Amazons. Wonder Woman possesses superhuman strength and is capable of wielding the lasso of truth. She also has indestructible bracelets. She first appeared in All-Star Comics in 1941.
Number 4, Iron Man. Iron Man, also known as Tony Stark, is an American billionaire, business magnate, and ingenious engineer. Tony Stark suffered a chest injury during a kidnapping where he built a suit of armor, which later becomes the iconic red armor suit we know today. This red suit allows Tony Stark to fly, shoot lasers, and fight with enhanced mobility. He first appeared in 1963 in the Tales of Suspense comic.
Number 3, Superman. Clark Kent, originally named Kal-El, is an alien born on the planet Krypton who was sent to planet Earth minutes before the destruction of Krypton. Superman possesses superhuman strength and the ability to fly and a variety of vision powers, including X-ray, heat-emitting, telescopic, infrared, and microscopic vision. He is also known as the Man of Steel and first appeared in the Action Comics #1 in 1938.
Number 2, Spider-Man. The infamous web-slinger first appeared in 1962 in The Amazing Fantasy #15. Bitten by a radioactive spider, Peter Parker gained the powers of super strength and agility, the ability to cling to surfaces, and precognitive spider senses. He also has a genius-level intellect, which he uses to create web shooters, allowing him to swing through the skies.
And number 1, Batman. Bruce Wayne is an American billionaire, playboy philanthropist, and owner of Wayne Enterprises. At a young age, he witnessed both his parents get murdered and decided he would devote his life to fighting crime. Batman possesses no superpowers. Instead, he uses his physical strength, ingenuity, and wealth to combat foes. He first appeared in Detective Comics #27 in 1939 and has been popular ever since.
And there you have it.
Remember, you can send us your thoughts on Twitter at NHCSTV.
Now we have a thrilling morning show game. It's our Superhero Challenge.
I hope you were paying attention during our top 10 hero list, as there may have been some clues to our challenge.
Let's send it back over to Leah, who has all the game rules. Welcome back, Leah.
Thank you. Today we have our morning show Superhero Trivia Challenge. I'll ask a question about a superhero. If you think you know the answer, you must buzz. The first person to buzz gets to answer. If you blurt out an answer without buzzing or winning the buzz, it will not count. Also, if you buzz before I finish asking a question, you have to answer it then. I will not read the rest. If the first person to answer is wrong, the other contestant gets a chance to answer. Finally, if you're both stumped on one, I'll give the answer and we will move on. There are 15 questions. Okay, are we ready? Here we go. Question number 1, what is Superman's only weakness? Is it A? Go ahead.
Nothing.
Kryptonite.
It is kryptonite. That is correct. No need to read the answer. Question number 2, Batman protects what city? That is, yep, Grayson, go ahead.
Is it Gotham?
It is, that's Gotham
Second
City,
guessing
yep.
myself.
All right, question number 3, moving right along. Which superhero is associated with the phrase, with great power there must also... Yes, we have 2 Marvel lovers over here. So
you got that one. Spider-Man?
Yes, Spider-Man. So they actually listen to Marvel movies and recite them from memory. All right, number 4. Which superhero is the medical doctor for the X-Men? Is it A, Iceman, B, Shadowcat, C, Storm, or D, the Beast? Take a wild guess. That goes to Grayson.
Is it Storm?
That is incorrect. Kira?
Is it A?
A, Iceman is also incorrect. The Beast is the medical doctor for the X-Men. Question number 5, who is Batgirl's father? Do we know our DC comics?
No.
A, the chief of police, B, Batman's butler, C, the governor, or D, the mayor? Go ahead, Grayson.
Is it the governor?
That's incorrect. Kira, would you like to?
Is it the mayor?
That is also incorrect. The chief of police is Batgirl's father. Moving on to question 6. Which superhero gains his power from a ring? Is it A?
Green Lantern.
Yes, that is correct.
Split second here.
That was quick. All right, question number 7. Which island does Wonder Woman call home? Is it A, Amazonia, B, Search the depths of your memory. Go ahead.
I'm working on it. I know it, but I don't know the word. It's.
Can you continue with the answers?
Grayson, you want to take a guess?
I know that they're the Amazons. It's not Amazonia.
No.
It's.
Let's continue with the
All right,
answer choices.
Okay, so A, Amazonia, B, Eden Isle, C, Emerald Isle, or D, Paradise Island. And Grayson looks confused.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say Emerald Island.
That is incorrect, Grayson.
Paradise Island?
That is correct. So that's Wonder Woman's home. Question number 8. Who turned evil after his fiancée was killed in the story of Batman? Is it A, the Riddler, B, Two-Face, C, the Joker, or D, Bane? Okay.
I really hope it's Joker.
Nope.
But
is it Bane?
That is also incorrect.
Oh,
the correct answer is Two-Face. He turned evil after his fiancée was killed.
All right.
And question 9. What sea creature does Aquaman ride? Is it
dolphin?
Nope.
Oh, can you continue with the answer
Yes.
choices?
So is it A, a dolphin, B, a giant seahorse, C, a lobster, or D, hammerhead shark?
I saw this movie.
I thought it was dolphin.
It's either B or D. Is it the shark?
Nope.
Is it the seahorse?
Yeah. It was the seahorse. That's all right. And question number 10. Who was the only person able to calm down the Incredible Hulk? Do I need to read that? Nope. Okay, you got it.
Black Widow. Natasha Romanoff.
No.
No.
In the movies it was.
That's not comics. Can I have the answer choices?
Yeah, so it's A, his mother, B, Iron Man, C, Betty Ross, or D, Wonder Woman.
Betty Ross.
That is correct.
Since when?
Comics.
Comics, not the movies.
I don't read
Apparently, I wouldn't know. Okay, question 11. What is the superpower of Cyclops, a member of the X-Men? Oh boy. A, he has telepathic powers and can read minds. B, can see through solid objects. D, can shoot energy out of his eyes. Or D, can control metal.
It's C.
C, yeah. He can shoot energy out of his eyes. That's kind of cool. Question number 12. How did Spider-Man get his superpowers? Need I say more?
That was you.
He was bitten by a radioactive spider.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
That is word for word what I have. Okay, question 13. Besides Alan Scott and Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern has also used this name as a secret identity.
I'm going to need the answer choices.
Okay, we'll use the answers. A, Barry Allen, B, Kyle Rayner, C, John Dickering, or D, Britt Reed.
Is it B?
Yes, Kyle
Really?
Rayner. All right, question number 14. Which superhero is dubbed the Man Without Fear? Is it A, the Flash, B, Green Lantern, C, Daredevil, or D, Wolverine? That goes to you.
Is it Daredevil?
Yes. Nice. The name says it all. All right, and question 15, our last question of the game. All right, and right now Grayson is in the lead. We'll see, Kira. It's not gonna. We'll see. No. All right, question 15. Which superhero can manipulate the weather? Is it
Storm?
Yes. All right, that was close. We have a 5 to 6 point, and not Kira, my bad. Grayson won our morning show superhero trivia challenge. So congratulations, Grayson.
Good game.
Good game, Kira. Well, that does it for this edition of The Morning Show.
For the best TV of all, keep it here every day for New Hanover County Schools, a TV on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Have a great day
and a wonderful week.